Yeah, I'm good. I actually got cold, like sick, last week, but I think I'm getting better.
That's
Yeah,
not good.
yeah, I got better, I think. Yeah, my voice is still
Yeah.
weird, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when we get a cold or something, it's our voice changes and it stays a
Yeah,
bit strange for a while, doesn't it? So sounds like we're
it
talking
is.
like this.
I know.
Yes. What do you think are the key principles to having a happy life?
There are a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
actually, but I thought that appreciate each moment, not like focus on our past tense or even future, because now
Mm-hmm.
it's really important.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, and then we really have to appreciate each moment and then don't take anything for granted. I think it's really important for me.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we'll we'll die one day. So otherwise, we'll regret this time or like there's a lot of things that I could have done, I should have done. I don't want to regret when I get older. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just try to appreciate each moment. I think it's
I
important for
like
me.
that.
So what about
Yeah,
you? I'd
I
like to hear
totally
your
agree.
opinions.
I honestly, Misaki, I have done a lot of work in regards to happiness over the years. I really love what you said because I
Oh,
truly
thank
agree
you.
that we are all responsible for our own happiness, but we actually have to consciously work on. And I think that one of the key principles is definitely to live in the moment, live in the now, and appreciate each moment. Yeah. I have a
So
question,
true.
Misaki. Have
Yeah,
you ever
yeah, yeah.
read any books by oh gosh, what's his name? Eckhart Tolle. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
I'm
the
pronouncing
power
that.
now.
Yes. Have you
Yeah,
read
I've read it.
that?
I've read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically his principle is live in the
True.
moment and be grateful for the moment and don't always think if I once I do this I will be happy, or in the future once I have this and this I will be happy. You will never be happy if you were doing that. You have to appreciate each moment. Yeah, like for
Yeah.
example, I'm sitting here, I'm outside on the balcony right now. I can feel a beautiful warm breeze. I can hear the
Mm,
birds. I can hear water running, and I can see beautiful trees. I front of me. I have palm trees, I can see banana
oh,
trees, I
heaven.
can see frangipani flowers and the blue sky.
Mm,
And it's beautiful and I
it is
appreciate it.
beautiful.
So it makes me happy.
When we are busy, we don't really stop to even like see the flowers, like birds. So living the moment is really important. It's really hard though.
Completely agree. Yeah. And
Mm.
I actually find that it's the most simple things in life that make me the happiest. Such as having a beautiful nature view and hearing the water and hearing the birds. Yeah. Happier if you had more money? And I have another question of my own to ask after this. Yeah.
Okay. I won't. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but I think I'll be happier
Mm-hmm.
because this means that it made it will make our life easier if we have a lot of money, right? So
Yeah.
that's my
Mm-hmm.
point.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just money itself doesn't make us happy, but like just it just make
Sure.
our lives easier because we will do anything that we want to do if we
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of money. But
Mm-hmm.
just think about money itself. It won't bring our
Mm-hmm.
happiness. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is a really tough question. I also know that a lot of celebrities who has a lot of money, they feel also like lonely. They also feel like their life isn't complete, even they have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money. So hearing that, just having a lot of money, like being rich, it's not that important thing. It's how though.
I agree. I think all we have to do is look on the news websites and we see all these celebrities that have millions of dollars in their bank account. And so many of them have drug and alcohol problems and they've been
True.
to jail. So I completely agree. They have all this money, and yet they're not able to do, the inner work that is required for them to be happy. So I agree. It completely doesn't matter.
Okay.
Are the people in your country generally very happy?
In Japan, I feel like people who don't live in Japan, I feel like that kind of people, they have really good image of Japan, like living in Japan. Like, yes, it is beautiful country. Transportation is great, and then always on time, and then food is delicious. But like working culture in Japan is, I think, the worst. Yeah, and so that's why we have our own word called karoshi. This means death because of overtime. So that's why our suicide rate is really high. So I don't like that that we always have to work hard.
Yes.
So I don't think we're happy. Be okay, I feel like in Japan.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I understand that because even though I've never been to your country, what I've seen in documentaries, on the internet, in movies, it's so beautiful. And you have all the elements there to have such a beautiful, happy life in your country. But then there's instances, for example, where I was talking to a student on Cambly, and he was about 30 years old, and it was nighttime, and I saw him. He was walking down the steps, and I said, "Oh, have you just finished work?" And he said, "Yes, I've just finished work." And I asked him what time it was, Misaki, and he said midnight. And I thought, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah.
And he said he finishes work at midnight, maybe 3 times a week. And I asked him if he had a family, and he said yes, he had a wife and a young child.
Yes,
And I
as
thought,
well.
oh my goodness, that's not healthy. It's not a healthy lifestyle. So, yep, I see that. I see that. Working is too much.
Kind of happen often, the kind of situation that he has, like that your student has. Yeah, and then now I can compare with a lot of countries like New Zealand. You guys, I like the working culture in New Zealand, even though I've never worked in New Zealand, but you guys are so relaxed.
I'm just thinking, it's Misaki, 5 o'clock, and we are running out of the door. We are finished.
I like it. Yeah, I like it because I don't like that we always think about other people. Like, our boss is here, so we have to stay a little bit longer.
I know.
So yeah, that kind of things happen all the time in Japan, and I feel like because that we care what other people think about us a lot, so that's why it's one of the reasons that we care too much about it.
Gosh, I'm not sure I can answer that question. To be honest, I haven't, because I haven't lived in New Zealand for 20 years. I'm like,
That's
are people in
long
New Zealand happy? I'm assuming people in New Zealand are happy.
What about when you used to live there? How did you think about it?
When I used to live there, I would say most people, I would say most people, 20 years ago, were happy. I think most people had a good a work-life balance. Usually work was 5 days a week, 9 to 5, and then there was family time, weekends, and time to do things after work. So I would say for New Zealand, from what I can remember, people were generally happy. The lifestyle was balanced. I would say.
And
yeah.
When I went to New Zealand like 2 months ago, I like that you guys hug a lot, even with your parents, friends. Because in Japan we don't really do it. I haven't hugged my dad like since when I was young, like little. And then I like that connection that you guys have. So it brings us happy as well, like family connection. And then you guys tell them that I love you a lot, but we don't do this in Japan.
Yes.
So
Oh,
definitely
really?
it's connected to our happiness lights as well. So I also like you guys are so close to each other, but it's not like you guys rely on each other. It's like family connection, like love connection. I don't know how to say, but I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
The
I
confidence
agree.
that you guys have.
Yeah, it's not a like a connection of dependency. It's a genuine love connection, and we spend time together, not because we really feel obligated, but because we want to. Yeah. Do you think happiness is an attitude that can be cultivated of problems in your life?
Okay, this is a really hard question because okay, so like last year, I quit my job. I quit all of a sudden. I didn't want to go to work. A lot of people left, so I thought it's toxic place to go to work, so I quit. And since then, like without having work, like a job was one of the like I don't know worst feelings that I felt. And then I had already planned to go to New Zealand, so I also had to take for 2 weeks off holiday to go to New Zealand. But a lot of company in Japan didn't let me to take that long holiday. So I
Oh,
decided to go to school for
mhm,
3 months. And then
mhm,
finally, I got that job that I'm doing now. But like
mhm,
that was really hard. If we have a lot of uncertainty, it's so hard to make myself happy again. Yeah, but like also it depends on us. Nobody makes us happy. We as one who have to make ourselves happy again. So it was one of the best life lessons that I had.
Honestly, I think in spite
Mm.
of problems, I really think it depends on what the problem is and how big it is. Yeah,
Oh,
because
true.
as you said, I do think that happiness sometimes can be a choice, and it's about perspective. But at the same time, we have things in our life that happen that is so stressful. So we
True.
are human. Like if
I know.
if our job's gone or something, like of course we are going to feel sad and stressed, sad, and it's just not possible to be happy. So we're human.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you think having children is important to happiness in your life?
Wow, that's a deep question. I don't think we have enough time to answer. So maybe we can continue doing this question
Oh,
next time as
sure,
well. Yeah, but
sure,
I would
absolutely, Miss
say,
Sophie, absolutely,
yeah,
Miss
I
Sophie.
would say, like some couple, married couple decided not to have kids, and then it's totally
Mhm,
fine. It's their life.
mhm,
Like
mhm,
having a kid, this is a beautiful thing that we can do it, right? Like
mhm,
creating new human being is so beautiful, and then they look like us, right? It's so beautiful.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's the important things when it comes
Mhm,
to being happy, like a happy life. I mean,
mhm, mhm,
so
mhm,
it depends on the couple anyway. So, but like I
mhm,
said, this is
mhm.
raising a kid is something like one of the like beautiful things that we can do, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we can certainly expand on this question next time as we're running out of time. But
yeah.
my and I'll tell you my experience to do with
Okay,
this
good.
question as well, and judgment that I have got about this. But my short answer to this question, for me personally, is no. It's not important to me. Because of course, I'm 40 over the years, but I'll expand on that next time.
Okay,
That's
thank
my
you for
short
your
question.
time. I really enjoyed it, and I really
Yeah,
enjoy
thank
hearing
you,
every
Saki.
answers that you
Yeah,
really.
they're
Thank
really
you.
great questions. And you always you answer them really well, and your
Thank you.
vocabulary is like amazing. It's like it's
Oh,
so
thank you
easy
so
for you
much.
to really express yourself well in
Oh,
English, Misaki, and that's you know, and that just goes to show what an amazing level of English you have achieved. That you can
oh,
express
thank you so
yourself
much.
any idea that you have. Yeah, yeah. So have a lovely day, Misaki.